with a ratty. Tap them like a mix with a and over them. Have them watch you, chatty like a peeping Tom mix. With a motor massy, try to mix up the original with carbon copy. Don't mix the marijuana plant with the poppy.
Nationwide now presents the back of the net coverage brought to you by Anybet, your best bet, and ATL Automotive, keeping Jamaica moving.
Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Nationwide 90 FM's coverage of the Champions League final. We're going to come to you live from the Allianz Arena in Germany, home of the Bundesliga champions Bayern Munich. We're live here at Carib 5 in Crossroads, and the game will be shown live on big screen here at this facility. It's a cinematic Saturday here on the Champions League final day. It's Luis Enriquez's brilliant and youthful team, PSG, against the defensively solid Inter Milan, even though you would not have known given the semi-final that they came through. But it's going to be a big night over in Germany, and we expect to make it a big day here in Jamaica. The fans are filing in here at Carib 5 in Crossroads. There are a number of watch parties around the country, so the big day, the day that the team, either Inter Milan or Paris Saint-Germain, will climb Europe football's Everest. Which one will do it? We should know after 90 minutes. Who knows, even 120, we could even go to penalties. The possibilities are endless. My name is Wayne Walker, and this afternoon we're going to be setting the stage. We're going to be coming back at halftime to look at the first 45 minutes, and then of course we're going to summarize the game. We've got Pier Battaglia, an Italian, a man who supports Inter Milan. You'll be hearing from him. Andrew Price and Calvert Fitzgerald, two of the most noted football coaches in the country. But at this juncture, before we set the table, let's go on the outside. Tona Thomas, my colleague, she's standing by. She's going to be talking to the fans who are filing into Carib 5 here. And of course, there's a game going on out there. Some football prizes and surprises she's going to be giving away. She's also going to be talking to one or two of our sponsors. So without further ado, let me go on the outside of Carib 5 and join my colleague, Tona Thomas. Tona?
Hey to you, Wayne. Good afternoon, Crossroads. Good afternoon, Kingston. Good afternoon, Jamaica. We are indeed here at Crossroads at Carib 5 Theatre for the finals of the UEFA Champions League. And I'm so excited to hear from our patrons to find out who are they supporting. Is it PSG? Is it Inter Milan? But wait for that. We have with us, what's your name? Shane. Hi, how are you this afternoon?
I'm fine.
You're good. So who are you supporting this afternoon?
PSG.
Why are you supporting PSG?
I mean, they knocked out the juggernauts, Liverpool, so.
And they could make history this afternoon, winning for the first time. All right, so guess what? We have a game going on out. And if it is that you score, you actually get a drink. You can choose Heineken, Pepsi, whatever it is, that is your choice. So, try. Yeah, you know. Go ahead. Go. Go. Congratulations to you. You can go across and collect whatever is the drink of your choice, whether it be Heineken, and have a good game. Hopefully PSG wins. Hello. I see some other fellows here. What name?
My name is Ramon Barton.
Ramon. And you're a PSG fan as well, or are you Inter fan?
I'm none of them.
Oh.
Inter Milan.
You're in Inter. All right, so let's see what happens with the game this afternoon. But as I was saying to Rashane, if it is that you score, you get a drink free of cost. All right, so go ahead. All right, so he's marking, to ensure that he has the clearest line to get in to that goal. Look like, he's about to do a penalty shootout. But that is kind of what it is. You ready? He looks like he's ready. Go ahead.
Oh, wait up.
There you go. Another goal. We have a here afternoon at Carib 5. And we have another. Yeah, man, go right ahead. We have another fellow here. What is your name?
Mark Gale.
And who are you supporting this afternoon, Mark?
PSG.
Wow. So it's 2 PSG so far, 1 Inter. And Mark, who is donning some very nice nail sandals, is gearing up. You don't want to take sandals. You're good. Hey. Taking off his sandals to give him the best chance of scoring this afternoon. Get some free drinks. Go ahead, Mark. Oh. What you guys, give Mark another chance? Yeah. A chance. Give Mark another chance. So Mark on the second try. So Mark said the goalie set good. So please set the goalie good. That Mark can score. Mark. Afternoon. Yes.
Yes.
All right, so we have a young chap here this afternoon. What is your name?
Zane.
Zane? All right, so who are you supporting this afternoon, Zane? You're with Mark? Oh, okay. All right, so Zane, you ready? All right. You want to come up closer? Come up a little bit closer. All right. So go ahead, Zane. They look nervous, you know. Give it your best try, Zane. Give it your best try. All right. Oh. We're going to give Zane another try at scoring. We're going to give Zane another try at scoring.
Open.
All right, let's go, Zane. Let's go.
She needs to come back now. She needs to come back.
1, 2, 3, go. Almost there. And for that very good try, we're going to give Zane a drink as well. So, throwing it back. Wayne, who is inside Carib Theatre. This is indeed the UEFA Champions League final here at Carib Theatre in Crossroads. Hey to you, Wayne.
Thank you very much, Tony Thomas. It seems like you're having a lot of fun outside there. We're going to be back with you at halftime. And of course, at the end of the game, we'll also be coming back to you to give the patrons an opportunity to win prizes. All right, so we're here still with Andrew Price, Calvert Fitzgerald, and of course, Pierre Battaglia. Where we're going to be hearing from Andrew and Calvert. Since Pierre was late, so he's paying the price for being late today as an Inter Milan fan. Is that an indication as to what's going to happen this afternoon? We're not sure. But Calvert, let me ask you, Inter Milan against PSG, the most unlikely of finals. I mean, Barcelona was flying, Arsenal looked good, Real Madrid is always going to be there. Yeah. Come today, May 31, none of them in Germany today. It's Inter against PSG. What sort of a final are we going to be seeing?
Well, we're going to see two contrasting styles. You know, because Inter Milan sound defensively, even though they have conceded a few goals recently. They played 3 at the back, 5 across, 2 up front, and they are going to be matched up against a side that plays 4 at the back, 3 across the middle, and 3 across the top. So it's going to be a very, very interesting game, because this Inter Milan team, they cover about 90 kilometers per game, and PSG covers about 118 kilometers per game. So they're going to basically have to play compact, because they don't have the leg, because they're a very old team, and PSG a very young team. You know, so it's going to be an interesting game. But when I watched they played Barcelona, I think the difference between this PSG team and the Barcelona team is that the PSG team is more disciplined defensively and don't play such a high line.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Andrew, the PSG team, if you talk to the fans and you look at the preview, you get the impression that the smart money is on PSG. They've been really imperious since the knockout stage. They flew under the radar in the group stage, and they just didn't look like contenders. But the moment they went into the knockout stage, they were absolutely flying, and they come into Germany tonight. It's probably wearing the favorite tag. Would you give them that?
Definitely, I would give them the favorite tag. They started very slow. As a matter of fact, they were the last team who qualified for the knockout stage based on their first round record. But as the tournament progressed, they got better with each game. And if you look at the type of teams that they beat to reach a final, Liverpool, Arsenal, Aston Villa, some top teams in Europe, and they have gotten better with every game. They are very fluent, especially up front. Defensively, they are sound with a leader like Marquinhos, and I believe that they have the edge today. But you know, Inter Milan is going to play the usual Italian defensive structure, disciplined, and they'll wait for the break. They have 2 attacking fullbacks in DiMarco and Dumfries, who attack a lot, and a lot of their attacks are going to come through those 2 players. So it's going to be a very exciting game. I think there'll be goals.
Mm-hmm. Let me stick with you. The Italians are generally known, you know, for their defensive solidity. And up to the finals against Barcelona, Inter Milan were sporting the best defensive record in all of Europe, yeah? But then they ran into a Barcelona team with Lamine Yamal and the likes, and they were brutally exposed. The frailties of their defense was shown up brutally. And then start to wonder, when you look at this PSG fearsome foursome, where they're two flying wingers, Captain Hakimi, and on the other side, Nunez. Then up front, you've got the brilliant Dembele and Desire is, Doué. How's Milan, coming back from the fact they've conceded 9 goals in the semi-final, going to deal with that youthful attacking force of Paris Saint-Germain today? What are they going to do?
Well, I believe that they just have to throw caution to the wind. They have to play defensively as long as possible, and when they get the opportunities on the counter, use the Marco and Dumfries to go forward and get some looks at goal. But definitely, they must feel some amount of confidence playing Barcelona and being able to beat Barcelona. So they believe that even if a team tries to outscore them, they can counter and score also.
Yeah, and Calvert, again, that semi-final against Barcelona has thrown things wide open, because the same Milan, Inter Milan went to the Champions League final in 2023, right?
Yes.
And they lost to Manchester City. And in that game, they put up a defensive masterclass. It was just breached by Rodri with his beauty from the top of the box. Andre Price just said, yes, they gave up a lot of goals, but they also can draw confidence from the fact that they beat Barcelona of all teams. But then, aren't they probably mentally injured, knowing that they've been so brutally exposed, and could, when you look at the sort of attack that Paris Saint-Germain is coming with today?
No, I'm not of that opinion. I am thinking that the coach, because I've watched a lot of tapes with them, a lot of their games, I think they play to the opponents, right? So I think today you are going to see them forcing PSG to the flank. They are going to play a low block and have a lot of people in the middle of the field, so they cannot be penetrated through the middle, because they are very competent in handling crosses, so, and then break with the wing back, as Andrew said, and Dumfries is not only fast, but he's powerful. So, so I think they're going to pack the middle, see the position, keep a low block, and then break on the wings, because they can angle the squares,
Andrew, there's a player by the name, we've not mentioned him all day, Curtis Kutfilia from Georgia. Actually, many people credit PSG's turnaround in the Champions League to their acquisition of this player in January. Liverpool went for him, they couldn't get him because it cost too much. This guy's a demon. He's an absolute demon. And whatever Luis Enrique's employ him on the left and he's not doing a great deal, they put him on the right. He's very good, very versatile kind of player. I just think he could very well be the match winner today if PSG is going to win. But when you look at him, Dembele, Desire Doué, it's almost like you're seeing a Barcelona, except maybe with Lamine operating at a different level. But if you look at both front lines, Barcelona and PSG, they're youthful, very skillful. They're going to prove a handful for Inter, irrespective of what Inter comes with today.
I'm going to answer that question with one name, Luis Enrique. Where is he from?
Spain.
Where did he play?
He played in Barcelona.
Who did he coach?
Dembele.
All right. He is a coach that loves to play attacking, free-flowing football, and I think he has instilled this in this particular PSG team, and they are going to come today to show how they can play football. When you have fullbacks like Nunez and Hakimi who can come forward and support the attacking prowess that they have up front, it's definitely really a hand on attack for the players. Now, when you look at their midfield, they're hard workers. You have Fabian Ruiz, you have Vitania, excellent players who control the middle of the park. And what is going to be interesting to see if these three players for PSG can control the game against the five-man block of Inter Milan in midfield.
Yeah. Calvert, one of the things I was thinking about this morning when I woke up, because I've been thinking about this Champions League final from time immemorial. At the end of the semi-final, the sort of confidence and momentum that PSG had, they had to go back home, complete their domestic season, and then rested, train and so on. Do you think break between the semi-finals and today would have broken that sort of momentum that they were going in with?
No, because they had domestic games to play.
Yes.
And PSG has never won the Champions League before.
Yes.
So as a footballer and a coach, Andrew can attest to that, you look forward to it so much. So
yes.
even if you sit out a month, you're going to come as sharp as ever because you want to win the Champions League. This is the pinnacle of European football. So you're going all out.
So the momentum has not been lost. It doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter.
You concur, Andrew?
Yes, they're going for the triple. They have never won the triple before.
We're going for the quadruple now.
That's right.
Actually, quadruple.
Exactly, and I'm saying they have never won the Champions League before.
Right.
So this is definitely a motivator for the team and Luis Enrique to actually get this team without all of the galacticos of stars that they had before. He has assembled a team that plays in unison and he wants to win.
Wherever you are watching us and listening to us, of course, we're on Nationwide 90 FM, but we're also on the World Wide Web as well. We're building up to the Champions League final between Inter Milan and the PSG. Paris against Germany. It's going to be this afternoon. And yes, they're two unfashionable teams. I mean, Inter Milan has won the Champions League 3 times before. They're looking for a 4th one. So they're not new to this kind of a thing. But they've not won it in a while, and PSG has never won it. So what we're looking at here are two teams who are supposed to be hungry for it. And they lost very recently, you know, because in 2020, the PSG team was beaten by Bayern Munich, and just 2023, Manchester City beat Inter Milan. So they're used to getting to this stage of the competition. So we're building up. We have just about 5 minutes to throw. We're coming to you live from Carib 5 right here in Crossroads. It's a cinematic Saturday for Nationwide here in Crossroads because the game is going to be shown on the big screen here in the Carib 5 and the fans are trickling in. I'm really surprised that so many people are here today to watch a Champions League final, given that there's so many watch parties around the country, but it tells you about the power of Nationwide, doesn't it? All right, we've been spending a lot of time on PSG. We're going to talk a little bit more now about Inter Milan. Lautaro Martinez is their starman, their captain, their prolific striker, their inspirational leader. Well, you know, gentlemen, he has not really come to the party the way we know he can, especially from the quarterfinals. Well, he got injured in one of the quarterfinals back in the time. But he has not really come to the party. He has not really be the Lautaro Martinez that we know. This is the occasion for him to rise. He won the World Cup with Argentina, so he's used to these big occasions. How important is Lautaro to Inter today?
Very important. They have a 2-man front line, Lautaro, and he also plays with Turan. And the two of them have a very good understanding between each other. And Lautaro is a big-time player. You know, they have this saying that, you know, form is temporary, but class is permanent. And I'm going to see today what Lautaro can do. He wants to win a Champions League. He'll be driven. He was injured going into the semi-finals, out of the quarter-finals. Now he's 100% fit. He'll give his all today, and it's going to be very exciting to see the combination between him and Turan up front.
Yeah. One of the things that's proving to be attractive, Calvert, for this PSG team is that Luis Enrique he really tinkers with his team, which makes it sort of easy to pick his 11. I probably could sit here right now and pick Luis Enrique's 11 once they're all fit players. And so, is that an advantage, or you like a coach who goes in and put horses for courses?
Well, it depends on the kind of players you have. And when you have a young team, horses for courses doesn't work out too well, you know. And he has a young team, and everybody's trained and repetition. So they have actually nearly perfected their roles. So it's an advantage to them. Inter Milan now a lot of experienced players, you know, so who are very adaptable. But with Martinez now, Martinez depends on service and combination.
All right.
So that is where PSG has the advantage. They can individually take down a team.
All right, so we're heading now to studios because we're going live to Bavaria. Quickly, Andrew, one word. Who's going to win the Champions League?
PSG.
PSG. Calvert?
PSG.
For me, I can't see Inter Milan beating PSG. This PSG team is brutal. And I look forward to, I just love watching them. I'm looking forward to seeing them play today. I pick them to win the Champions League as well. We're going to head over now to Germany for the first 45 minutes in Champions League 2025. It's Inter Milan against PSG. We're going to be back at halftime to summarize the first 45 minutes. Let's go.
Inter in their third strip this evening. We're in the yellow. came to have lost just one of their 14 games, and they won through after extra time 7-6 on aggregate in their thrilling semi-final against Barcelona. Jan Sommer's made more saves than anybody who had Thibaut Courtois of Real Madrid this season. Benjamin Pavard replaces Jan Bisek alongside 37-year-old Francesco Acerbi. Lautaro Martinez has got over the thigh injury which saw him substituted in both legs of the semi-final. 7 of this team started the 2023 final defeat by Manchester City. A 37-year-old at the back, and Inter, the oldest team in this season's competition. Tonight's average age, 30 years and 242 days. Before this Champions League final of 2025, and we should expect a fast start given what both these teams did in the first leg of their semi-finals. PSG defeating Arsenal, Dembele scoring after just 4 minutes, and Inter in front after just 30 seconds at the Camp Nou. Don Goodman.
Well, this is just set up to be one of the most exciting Champions League finals we've had for many years. We know that they can be tight, nervy affairs, but we're yet to see this Paris Saint-Germain team in that kind of a game. So I'm expecting it to be a really good watch.
Here's Thuram. Really strong run by Marcus Thuram. DeMarco. Successful against Arsenal in the semi-final after winning against Premier League opposition Aston Villa in the quarter-final, and also in the round of 16 a penalty shootout success against Liverpool after 1-1 aggregate scoreline. Should it be necessary, we will have extra time and maybe a penalty shootout at the end of tonight's final.
I was going to say, sorry, the most interesting thing here, isn't it, is that these are two teams that invariably go about winning games of football in usually different ways, but PSG are bound to have more of the ball here this evening, you suspect. It's a case of how they use it.
Doué, the 19-year-old, preferred to Bradley Barcola. Given away by Barella. Doué again. Mr. Van Kovac, the referee steps in. To get the free kick.
Looks like he's penalised this flailing arm there. Catches Çalhanoğlu in the face, Doué. Promising situation developing as well.
Sweeping all before them in France, as they do on so many occasions. Inter missing out on the title in Serie A. Stumbled at the final hurdle. Considered the last-minute penalty in the penultimate round against Lazio. So immediately put under pressure. Forced to put the ball out of play. Which has given Paris some encouragement.
It's a feature of the new Paris Saint-Germain, isn't it? That high-intensity press they deliver makes life very, very difficult for opponents.
Portuguese international. Marquinhos. He loses out. And then concedes the free kick.
See the game plan, can't you, from Inter Milan? Once they win the ball, they're going to look to spring as quickly as they can, try and catch PSG, maybe a little bit out of shape.
Pavard hasn't played since the end of April because of an ankle problem. Martinez with the interception this time.
Well, look who he got ahead of there. That's Benjamin Pavard, the right side central defender, playing at the minute. It's a left-sided forward, and that's some of the problems that Inter can cause opponents. That rotation, very comfortable doing that.
As you say, John, two very different styles. So much pace up front for Paris. Inter happy to sit back, happy to absorb whatever Palace can throw at them. Kvaratskhelia, who joined Paris in January from Napoli. He's got the potential of being a champion in two countries and maybe even a Champions League winner. Marquinhos. Fabian Ruiz. Spanish international has got a terrific goal against Arsenal in the semi-final. Doué on his way. That is a foul. Doué pushed over. It's a decision which has baffled Bastoni.
It's understandable, really. He's complaining. Very, very minimal contact. And he's penalised. You can see some of the Inter supporters' reaction to that. It's just a little hand there. I mean, there is a little shove. Always a risk.
Simone Inzaghi pacing up and down on the edge of his technical area. Vitinha over this free kick. Plenty of movement inside the Inter penalty area. And the danger still hasn't been cleared. Helped away by Xavi. Vitinha again. Marquinhos rising highest.
Well, a couple of really testing deliveries into that danger area for Inter. I kind of thought if anybody was going to test the other team from set pieces, it may have been Inter testing PSG.
That's done. Di Marco. Won back by the energetic Doué. Vitinha very much at the centre of things in midfield for Paris. Fabian Ruiz. Helped on again by Doué. Vitinha was such an important job for PSG in the centre of midfield. João Neves. Set of PSG has changed completely now with Luis Enrique in charge. Hakimi again driving on. Vitinha. João Neves. Nuno Mendes. Fabian Ruiz. Hakimi. Riding the challenge of Varela. Fabian Ruiz.
Just almost feel a little bit of momentum building, can't you?
Comfortable for Sommer, but an indication again of how much movement Paris have got up front. Remember one name on the PSG team sheet ahead of kick-off, which raised an eyebrow or two. Thuram. Tara Martinez. First opportunity for Dumfries to get forward.
10 minutes in, and it almost feels like that was the first foray from Inter Milan into that PSG final third.
Mkhitaryan. And again by Bastoni. German-born Turkish international. One thing that Inter do have is experience. Average age of over 30 for this final. The experience of playing in the final just 2 years ago, where they were close to snatching a late equaliser in the closing stages against Manchester City in Istanbul. Revelation this season. Another attempt on target and another comfortable save for Sommer.
I think he's going to be a little bit disappointed. Hits this straight at Jan Sommer. It's comfortable again for the goalkeeper.
Given away by Mkhitaryan.
They're just not looking after the ball into when they have it, which hasn't been much in these opening exchanges, it has to be said.
Kvaratskhelia. Javi Ruiz. Coutinho. It's a delightful pass. Here's Doué. And it's been bundled in. Hakimi ensures that PSG have made the early breakthrough. It's his fourth goal in this season's Champions League, and the former Inter man has now put PSG in front.
Well, it's okay trying to sit back and soak up the pressure, but PSG look really at it. They look really sharp, and this is the third attempt, but it's that pass there between the lines which is absolutely split Inter's back line open. And it's a simple pass, isn't it? Once Doué gets his head up, Hakimi free as a bird in the middle, and it's a familiar sight. That kind of goal they have been scoring all season long.
The frustration obvious in the face of Simone Inzaghi. Inter, with one of the meanest defences in this season's Champions League, are behind already. 12 minutes played.
Well, it was tough, wasn't it, really, for them, those opening 10, 12 minutes. They did not look after the ball. They didn't keep possession. They allowed wave after wave of PSG attack, and ultimately paid the price.
Pavard. Hakimi, who's one of PSG's ever-presence in the UEFA Champions League this season. Started all their fixtures along with Pacho, the Ecuadorian, at the centre of defence. They're not able to get beyond DeMarco this time. Another fullback or wingback who, like Hakimi, likes to get forward, but so far neither Dumfries or DeMarco have been able to do that for Milan, for Inter.
Well, they've been dominated, and that is going to have to change, because the pattern of this game for Inter cannot continue, otherwise this final will very quickly slip away from them.
But we know that Inter can win doing it the hard way, as they showed in the semi-final against Barcelona. Champions League game for the ages, given what happened in that. Trailed after 87 minutes of the second leg and still managed to win through after extra time. Which has been made of the change of format of the Champions League this season. More teams, more games, more jeopardy as well, given that PSG so nearly went out at the end of the group phase.
Yeah, I think both of these teams have each been on the brink of elimination, haven't they? Obviously, more recently Inter, when Rafinha of Barcelona scores an 87th minute goal, you think it's probably all over, but they dig deep and they're going to have to do that again here. And as for PSG, it didn't start the competition well, it put them under pressure. They had a huge win against Manchester City, and they haven't really looked back since that second half, where they came from 2 goals behind to win 4-2.
Quite 2 extra games, having gone into the knockout playoff. After finishing 15th of 16, they lost 3 of their first 5, and they only defeated Girona with a 90th minute own goal.
Press is relentless from the French team here, and Inter really are struggling to cope with it at the moment.
But can they maintain it? Martinez. Lautaro Martinez, such a big player for Inter. He has been struggling with a thigh problem. That's much better from Thuram. Now Dumfries. He's told to get back to his feet by Istvan Kovac. Seymour came under pressure. Relentless running up front from Dembele. Nuno Mendes. Kvaratskhelia.
This is all coming from the intensity Paris Saint-Germain are bringing to this match. Real struggle out there for those Inter players. Looking down below, and Simone Inzaghi's trying to get instruction onto his team. Got to find a way of taking the sting and taking the momentum away from PSG here.
Problem for Nuno Mendes.
He's holding his head. It's just a flailing arm from Denzel Dumfries. I don't think there's any intent at all, but here's the goal again. And watch the movement there from Doué in behind the Inter defence. They didn't know he'd made the run, and he gets his head up, spots Hakimi, and it's as easy as you like. And a great start once again. Spoke about the fast starts that they've been able to make in games this season.
A very different Paris with Luis Enrique in charge. Mbappe going to La Liga to join Real Madrid. Neymar and Leo Messi leaving before Mbappe. There's a freshness and energy about the team assembled now by Luis Enrique. Jean Evers, the big summer signing, signed from Benfica. Deep into the PSG penalty area, knocked away in a fashion by Pacho. Kvaratskhelia, this is where PSG are at their most dangerous, when they have the opportunity to break forward quickly. Fabian Ruiz in the middle, joined now by Hakimi. Is Doué, deflected in after Marco. It's 2-0 now for PSG. It can't get any better than
because this is really unfortunate for Federico Di Marco, but how quickly, again, another example of what they've been doing all season long. How quickly did PSG turn defence into attack, put an opponent on the back foot. They swarm forward at pace, and this is Mendes keeping the ball in at the other end. And look at the runners, look at the pace, look at the dynamism, and Inter, they just can't cope with it at the moment. Dembele gets his head up, picks out Doué, and it's a pot shot, isn't it? And I think the deflection plays an enormous part. This was probably coming straight for Jan Sommer, but the deflection takes it past the goalkeeper, and Inter already have a mountain to climb here.
Desiree Doué, who turns 20 next week, getting an early birthday present, putting PSG 2 up.
The two goals that we've seen have been right out of the playbook, haven't they? We've seen them all season long, and Inter would have known the kind of threat Paris Saint-Germain pose. They just haven't been able to deal with it here.
Despicable decision to clear by Donnarumma from there. Dumfries. Behind for a corner. The PSG goalkeeper has had nothing to do so far, but he hacked the ball away then, and he's immediately put his team under pressure, unnecessary pressure.
Well, it was awkward for him, I have to say. High dropping ball. More importantly, they've got a corner to defend, and this has been a weapon for Inter. A couple of goals against Bayern Munich.
Donnarumma stuck on his goal line there as Cherby dived in.
Yeah, I was going to say, a couple of goals against Bayern Munich, a couple of goals against Barcelona, and Cherby, I'm looking at that and I'm thinking he's going to be disappointed because he gets way above his marker. He just can't keep the ball down. That goes down as a chance for Inter.
37-year-old has scored his first ever Champions League goal to make it 3-3 in the second leg of the semi-final against Barcelona in the 3rd minute of second half stoppage time. Nsame and Zaga go back a long, long way, go back to their days together at Lazio when they reached the round of 16. Di Marco. Thuram. Hakimi. Pacha. journey to the UEFA Champions League final 2 years ago. He won the Belgian Cup with Antwerp. Belgium to Germany, to Eintracht Frankfurt, and now to PSG. To take on DeMarco. Vitinha. Vitinha. Dembele happy to drift, as is Hakimi. Are finding it really difficult to cope with PSG's movement.
To cope with the movement when PSG have the ball, and to cope with the press when PSG haven't got the ball, they've literally struggled.
Given away by Acerbi. Vitinha. And Dembele. Hakimi. Dembele. Fabian Ruiz. It's not going to plan for Inter or Simone Inzaghi.
They're simply getting overrun. Those midfield three, Barella, Çalhanoğlu, Mkhitaryan, can't get anywhere near the ball. And when they have it, they're under enormous pressure.
Hakimi again looking to torment. Fabian Ruiz. Another one straight at Sommer. He's made more saves than any other goalkeeper in the Champions League this season now. Thuram. Using his body strength to hold off Pacho. Çalhanoğlu. Dumfries getting in behind, hanging in the air for Martinez. A little bit more encouragement for Inter.
Yeah, they need all the encouragement they can get. It's not surprising that positive thing happened down the sides with one of the wing-backs.
Zaga's now taken off his jacket. You can see it there on the edge of his technical area. Having more than a quiet word with DeMarco. Given away by Hakimi. Barella. DeMarco.
Offside flag went on, but for the first time he was a little bit casual there. Hakimi it was that gave the ball away, but you can see there DeMarco makes his run too early. He's offside, the flag goes up. This is the goal again. This is the bit where you feel the strike, it's going straight in the direction of Jan Sommer. You would expect him to save it, but the deflection, absolutely massive.
They're delighted. But Marquinhos telling his teammates to keep their concentration. It's not over yet. Brazilian who succeeded Thiago Silva as skipper after PSG lost the final during the COVID season of 2020. Here's Pavard. He's managed to get in behind him. Was trying to pick out the pass for Martinez.
It's a positive 2 or 3 minutes here from Inter.
Domestically this season, particularly in big games. They were beaten by their city rivals Milan. They let a 2-goal lead slip against Juventus. They drew 4-4 in that one. As we've touched on already, last-minute penalty in the penalty round, their 2-2 draw with Lazio, leaving them a point behind Napoli at the end of the campaign. Helped on again by the industrious Hakimi. Doué. Dembele. He's got back to him eventually.
There's a feeling of shock in the stadium, isn't there, really? I think French supporters are really enjoying it, but I think even they're surprised with the dominance that their team have been able to exert here.
Making his move. In again by Hakimi. Too high for Pacho. Di Marco.
Looking very isolated, aren't they? Marcus Thuram and Tauro, Martinez. No real service, no quality into them, no chances.
Fabian Ruiz. Spain squad that won the UEFA European Championship last year. A magnificent goal against Arsenal in the second leg of the semi-final. Is now out of position. PSG spring forward quickly again. Vitinha. Dembele. Dembele taking on Di Marco. Out for a corner.
Shake of the head. Federico Di Marco. It tells us all we need to know, doesn't it? Just got to find a way of hanging in here into while the game's 2. If they can get the next goal in this game, all of a sudden the dynamic may change.
Nuno Mendes. Marquinhos up. One. Kept in play by Dumfries. The marker. Mkhitaryan. Just the wrong side of Thuram.
Nice idea.
For a pass from Nuno Mendes. Has been kept in play by Dembele. This is the big prize that Paris have strived for years to try and win. Looking to double up as a Champions League winning coach, having enjoyed success with Barcelona. Final played against Juventus in Berlin. Thuram and Fries in support. Fries has gone forward and stayed forward. Çalhanoğlu. It's another corner.
Well, their only attempt has come from a corner, hasn't it? Sherby, 36 minutes in. They need more, and now it's a good time.
And Fries looking to make his presence felt. The header from Thuram is thudded wide. It was a chance.
Yeah. Two chances from two corners. Two chances that have gone a begging. Two chances that both players, Sherby and now Thuram, probably have expected to do a little bit better with.
Happy to take a breather, happy to take on some fluids. And Simone Inzaghi happy to pass on a few instructions as the team in yellow come to the near side touchline. Luis Enrique having his say as well.
Fair play, that was the Inter fans we just saw there trying to manage their team on. Opportunity, big opportunity. These are the margins, aren't they? These are the situations you're going to win the UEFA Champions League. You have to take advantage of.
Mendes in the wars again, but back on his feet. There's problems with injuries in the past. He was held back by a hamstring problem a couple of years back now. Having dislodged Lucas Hernandez in that left-sided defensive position. Can't call him a fullback. Curls from Vitinha. Doesn't give the ball away that often.
It's been a revelation since arriving at the club. Very important
signs and wonders of the Premier League in England. He had a spell on loan during the COVID season of 2021. And towards Latura Martinez. Again, the idea was right, the execution not quite paying off for Inter. Bastoni. Thuram. Freeze available, here he is. Martinez has made a darting run. Just ran away from Varela. He's done well to keep it in play. Dumfries. Knocked away by Pacha.
Again, better getting the ball down the sides, getting crosses in, at least asking those PSG defenders to do some defending.
Held up here by Denzel Dumfries. Dembele. Hakimi. Shelley now in a central position. Hakimi. João Neves. Hakimi striding forward.
So good until that moment. It's almost like they'd realised they were just allowing Inter to get slowly back in terms of momentum. So they decided to keep the ball for a couple of minutes there.
Bayern Munich, the Swiss international goalkeeper. Stage, just a couple of minutes, more than 2 minutes to go to half-time. Should be a minute or two stoppage time, given the head injury to Nuno Mendes.
It's all about managing the game, managing the time in sections. The next part to be reached is half-time with a 2-goal cushion.
Then Inter can have a rethink and regroup.
Yeah, very much so. I wonder even Simone Inzaghi may contemplate changes at half-time in personnel.
Inter stretched again. And what an opportunity that was for Dembele. He simply wasn't seen by DiMarco. A huge let-off for Inter. Dembele again behind DiMarco. Got his bearings horribly wrong.
Posting in at the far post. DiMarco had a little swing. That might have been the thing that put Dembele off.
Switched on there. Martinez. Marquinhos. That was risky and anticipated by Hakimi.
Just not expecting that the right back of a back four would be all the way over there, closing him down. You can see information required from teammates.
Minutes at the end of the first half. It's a stretch for Sommer.
Left a few of his teammates a little bit disappointed. That's why he's holding his hands up, because he had runners either side. A little bit selfish. See what he's trying to do, but never really going to trouble Jan Sommer.
Fabian Ruiz with the interception. Hakimi. Dembele. Tonight wearing black armbands to mark the passing recently of Ernesto Pellegrini, a former president of the club. Let's have the ball, and they're going to keep the ball. Soon time for a breather. Stuff in Munich. Simone Inzaghi hot under the collar early on. Inter conceding 2 early goals. Kvaratskhelia twisting and turning and getting in the shot, which has gone behind for a corner. Sommer again wrong-footed.
Yeah. He's been brilliant since he's arrived at the football club. This close control and skill bamboozles defenders. PSG going to have time to take this corner. Clock is ticking.
Let's have 2 extra minutes. We're going to have a few seconds more. Dembele with a corner kick. Flashed over the top of the crossbar by Kvaratskhelia. He knows that was a chance. It is the final action of the first half, which PSG have dominated. They've scored 2 goals. They could have easily had a third just before the break. It's gone horribly wrong for Inter from the moment that Achraf Hakimi was able to put PSG in front. The former Inter player putting Paris ahead on the lead, which was added to when the attempt by Desiree Doué took a big deflection of Federico Di Marco. Half-time in Munich. Paris Saint-Germain 2, Inter Milan 0.
All right now, any bet, your best bet, any day, every day. Winnings you get, all kind of sports, virtual sports, games and horse racing, local, international. We have slot machine in our spot, play enough, win big with the best odds now. Any bet down the spread across the island, any bet get in on the action.
Bet today on any sport or gaming at any bet locations island-wide. Any bet, your best bet.
For over 30 years, Chris and Charles has been financing your goals, dreams, creating your great moments. Celebrate the occasion with us. Borrow $1 million, pay less than $25,000 monthly, and get 30% off your processing fees. No guarantor needed. Call 876-920-4189 or WhatsApp 876-838-9028. Conditions apply. When you think loan, think Chris and Charles.
Share in the experience at Fontana Pharmacy. We have a wide variety of items in store just for you. Fill your prescriptions while you shop. And senior citizens enjoy 10% off. Shop household, cosmetics, toys, and many other departments. We also offer curbside pickup and delivery. Visit our website at fontanapharmacy.com. Fontana Pharmacy, where it's all good inside.
It's time for a new look.
And high time to get serious about protecting our home and investment.
It's time to choose BH Paints with over 60 years experience in quality paint finishes. Their products are superior and long-lasting.
Time to check them out.
Ask about BH Paints 100% Acrylic Ultima Plus paint and primer in one. Experience rich colors with advanced UV and mildew-resistant technologies, independently tested by experts. What are you waiting for? Visit a BH Paints Color Center today.
Outperform, outlast. We top performance. Jackhammer. Reliable, full stop, not comma. We have the expertise for drilling and demolition. We have the power tools for plumbers and electrician. Pan select tools, 3 parts and 3 repairs. 3 parts, 3 repairs. 2 to 3 years. Hilton, available at Delta Supply, 106 Hagley Park Road. Call us at 876-302-6111-4. Delta Supply, we service what we sell.
This summer, stay cool and save big in the all-new Dunn Cool Inverters. Starting at just $52,000, this cutting-edge air conditioner is built for comfort and efficiency. With the built-in Wi-Fi, you can control your climate from anywhere, anytime. Plus, it's energy-saving and ISO 9000 certified. Quality and performance you can trust. Available in all sizes. WhatsApp 876-850-7353 and shop now. Why settle for the win when you can own the cool for everything home? Consider it done.
Right now, any bet, your best bet, any day, every day. Winnings you get, all kind of sports, virtual sports, games and horse racing, local, international. We have slot machine in our spot, play enough, win big with the best odds now. Any bet down the spread across the island, any bet get in on the action.
Bet today on any sport or gaming at any bet locations island-wide. Any bet, your best bet.
AnyBet is Jamaica's premier company for in-person or online betting in Jamaica, with more than 40 locations nationwide. Enjoy more games, more bets, and more winnings at anybet.com, with access to the widest range of products to place your bets, including football, cricket, dog racing, and a host of exciting instant games that offer some of the best odds available. Chances are there's an AnyBet location near you. Must be 18 years and older. AnyBet, your best bet.
Nationwide now presents the Back of the Net coverage brought to you by AnyBet, your best bet, and ATL Automotive, keeping Jamaica moving.
It's halftime in the Champions League final over there at the Allianz Arena in Germany. It's PSG leading the Inter Milan team by 2-0. Goals by Achraf Hakimi, the captain, and of course Desire Doué, who played for France at the Olympic Games last year. They were beaten by Spain, who Spain didn't beat last year. So Doué has stepped up and has really been one of the linchpins in this Paris Saint-Germain team. We've got a sponsorship interview. I think we need to get out of the way before we look back at the second half. Let's join Turner Thomas on the outside. Turner?
Hey Wayne, thank you so much. Of course, I'm outside with AnyBet, our title sponsor for this year's nationwide coverage of the UEFA Champions League final. And I'm here with Daniel from AnyBet. Hey to you, Daniel.
Hi, and good afternoon to your listeners.
And how are you today?
I am doing great.
Now, Daniel, talk to us about why AnyBet decided to hop on board and be our title sponsor for this coverage.
Well, of course, Jamaicans love football, and the UEFA Champions League is arguably the biggest event of the footballing calendar. So we had to ensure that our brand was present and giving all of our customers and the general public the chance to on the action, place their bets, and win some money.
Now, talking about bets, Daniel, I'm looking behind me and I see your beautiful reps. And I want to talk about the bets that the patrons here at Carib can join in and do today.
Well, we have a large array of bets on the match. So you can bet on the team to win. You can bet on whether or not there will be a draw. You can bet on the correct score. You can bet on how the match will end for the second half. And I know a lot of our customers that have been here since this afternoon have placed their bets. A lot of them right now are in a winning position because they placed bets on PSG to win. But we have a wider range of bets, and we encourage our customers inside and those listening as well to get on board. Just visit anybet.com and you can see all the bet options that we have available for today's match.
So for somebody who is hopping on over to bet, how is it that they get that done? When I come over to your table, I say I want to bet, for example, on the score line. How do I do that?
Well, we have our reps here today that can walk you through the bet options, right? And you can also scroll from your phone because all our bet odds are available for you to view. Now, right now, I can give your listeners a little taste. Since the match is at 2-0 in favor of PSG, we're actually offering odds of $1.06 on PSG to win, because right now it looks like they're in the driver's seat and they're about to go across the finish line, right? But if you are still an Inter supporter, the odds for Inter Milan to come back and win this are at $32.
Wow.
So if you place a $1,000 bet, you could walk away winning $32,000. And if you're not too sure how the match might end at the 90 minutes and injury time, we are offering odds of $9.50 for the draw.
All right, so talk to me now, Daniel, about things that are on the horizon for AnyBet. Any future sponsorships, any future engagements, any future activities that AnyBet plans to take on in terms of sports?
Well, we have a lot in store. As you know, we have stores across the island and we're always innovating. That's the thing with AnyBet. We have not only bets on sporting events, but we have bets on instant games. We have bets on spin and win. So you really have to check out our portfolio. I'd say this, get on your phone or your internet connection and you'll see all the wide array of betting options that AnyBet has, because that's where we are the best. And I might tell you, you'll be seeing more of us as soon as the English Premier League starts as well. We'll be in the streets, we'll be out in the stores with our customers. So there's a lot that our customers can expect for us. The sky's the limit.
Thank you so much, Daniel.
Thank you for having me.
All right, throwing it back to you, Wayne.
We've gotten the sponsorship interview out of the way. Let's now have a quick look back at the first half in this Champions League final between Internacional of Milan and PSG. They lead by 2-0. The French champions looking for a fourth title this year and their first Champions League. Pierre Battaglia and Andrew Price are with me for the second half, for the first half discussion. Pierre, you're not a happy man. You're not only a supporter of Inter Milan, you're a Milanese. What's your take on the first 45 minutes? How are you down 2-0?
Yeah. The first, especially the first 20 minutes, was very disappointing for Inter Milan. I think they lost control of the midfield right away, and Paris Saint-Germain played an outstanding game on the first 20 minutes. I still believe that the second goal should not have happened. It should have been actually redraw, because it was a ball that went in the corner on the Saint-Germain side. The replay showed that the ball actually went out, so the VAR should have intervened. I think that second goal, plus it was a the shot was touched by a defender from Inter Milan, by Di Marco. So I think the one love will have been again a chance for us to come back. Now 2-love is going to be very hard, but you know, Inter Milan is a team that is very hard to play, and I'm sure they're going to put every single strength and effort to come back.
Andrew, is it possible?
Well, we have seen it before, but the way that PSG is managing the game, it's going to be extremely difficult for Inter to come back. What they'll have to do is take those half chances that they're getting, some of those set plays where they got some headers, where Turan got a header off, they've got to get them on target. Small margins in a game like this, they need one to get back into the game. Now, what PSG is doing is managing the game very well by keeping possession and transitioning quickly out of defense into attack.
The first 20 minutes, they were flying, absolutely.
Oh, yes, that's
Inter came back in the latter half of the second.
Amazing football. You know, the movement that you saw from PSG, the movement especially around the box. The first goal was immaculate, just a simple tap in, and the fullback is the one who scored the goal. For the second one, a quick transition out of defense, quickly into the Inter half, and they have another goal. So you know, they're really playing free-flowing football.
Yeah, and here they're doing so without Dembele really, you know, leaving his imprint on the first half. He really wasn't.
You know what makes the big difference right now is that Luis Enriquez actually coach in Italy. So he knows the Italian game by memories. This is a guy that's coached Roma, you know, and so he knows what he's facing. So he has prepared his game extremely well. He knew that he had to attack Inter right away for the first 20 minutes. They were on the ball all the time. And that's, right now, that's what makes the difference. I don't know if they're going to be able to keep it up, because to press like that, you know, that takes a lot of energy. So let's see if Inter Milan can just bring back some strengths into the middle field. That's where Barella, Mikhailovic and Chernomov, they have to play the game and start to provide balls to the forwards.
Andrew, it's hard to keep a player like Lautaro Martinez quiet in a game. We've seen a PSG done it to devastating effect so far this half. What's the chances of Lautaro stepping there? Because he has to be a part of this if Inter is going to come back.
Well, Inter has to get more touches in the game. And for that to happen, they have to start dominating the midfield. What we see is PSG dominating the midfield, dominating possession, moving the ball around, sometimes cheekily look like they're teasing Inter Milan by keeping the ball away from them. The only way Lautaro Martinez is going to get into the game is if he starts getting some supply, and he's currently not getting any supply from his midfielders.
Yeah, we're seeing the players in the tunnel trying to make their way out onto the field. If you were the coach of Inter Milan today, Pierre, what sort of adjustment would you make given what you've seen so far?
You have a couple of changes to make. I think Di Marco is not on his good day. He has not provided that push that he normally provide. So I will replace him. And of course in the midfield, if after 10-15 minutes they don't see the strength that I'm looking for, you know, they have Zelinski, you know, in the bench. That they can be putting in the field and put some more strength and put some pressure into Paris Saint-Germain. Let's hope that they can maybe score right away after 10-15 minutes, and the end will be a fun one to watch.
Yeah, you're Luis Enriquez, Andrew Price. Would you continue to do what you're doing until things start to fall apart, or you make changes still?
It's all about game management for the next 45 minutes. How well does PSG manage the game? Keeping the football, moving it around, and whenever they get opportunities, take them to put this game away.
Yeah, well, let's see, because as I mentioned, Dembele has not really come to the party yet, so he's still, and of course Christian Villa, the number 7 for PSG, he's also a class player. We saw, you know, bits of what he can do. Those players, if they come together with what Dewey is already doing and Eskimi, then it could be it could be a long night for the Inter Milan team. But let's see, they're making their way back out onto the field of players, so we're going to throw it back to our commentators over there in Bavaria for the second half of the Champions League final between Internacional of Milan and PSG of France. It's 2-0 in favor of the French champions. We see you at full time.
Nationwide now presents the back of the net coverage brought to you by Anybet, your best bet, and ATL Automotive, keeping Jamaica moving.
Having conceded 2 goals inside the first 20 minutes. 2 goals in an 8-minute spell. Only 3 teams in European Cup history have led a final by 2 goals and not gone on to win. Once in 1956, Real Madrid in 1962, and Milan in 2005. And that sensational fixture against Liverpool, which they lost on penalties. Kvaratskhelia. Still he goes on. It was too easy for him. The Georgian international breaking forward quickly. And yet again, Don Goodman into slow off the mark.
Yeah, or the other way round, really. PSG quick off the mark. Started the first half on the front foot very well, very quickly, and already back foot. But I just wondered whether Inter would stop doing this now, playing short from these goal kicks, because Paris Saint-Germain have really caused them problems whenever they've done that. Let's see there, they've just given the ball away almost instantaneously. So clearly, it's not something they're going to change, which really surprises me.
It was pointed out to us at half-time, then Inter have scored at least twice in all 6 knockout stage games so far this season. Can they possibly do it again? Thuram now. Brought down. Pacho sliding in and getting it horribly wrong.
Well, the only danger PSG in the first half was from set pieces, 2 corners. They've got another opportunity here. Inter can they find a way of taking advantage of it. Need something. They need something quickly.
Marco might fancy swinging this in left-footed. It's an awkward area for Paris to try and defend. Bastoni in there. Çalhanoğlu, who's overcooked it.
Disappointing. He's got such quality. Just wonder whether it's the occasion that has got to these Milan players. You can clearly see on his face, Simone Inzaghi, already in the early stages of the second half. Frustration.
Already some Inter faces showing disappointment. History is on Paris' side. Each of the previous 4 finals played in Munich have produced a first-time winner. And the second European Cup final between teams from France and Italy. The first remains the only time a team from League A has lifted the trophy. Marseille beating Inter's neighbours AC Milan at the Olympiastadion. He's been put behind carelessly for a corner.
I think PSG have got to guard against his complacency here. That was very casual by Hakimi.
Dumfries having a word with Thuram. Cherby also in there. Big shout for a handball from Simone Inzaghi on the near side touchline. It will be checked by VAR, of course.
Defensive point of view there.
PSG support making the noise, making a lot of noise. Are the team about to get their hands on the trophy for the first time ever? Down hurt. The game continues. Kvaratskhelia. He's got a second chance. Deflected it over the top of the crossbar, was it?
He's given a goal kick. No deflection.
Dumfries. He's just caught by a flailing arm then. Nuno Mendes doing his best to hold off the marauding Denzel Dumfries, the Dutch international.
Yeah, they need to see more of that, don't they? Into wing-back involvement in an attacking sense. Very, very little of it in the first half.
Need to find far more creativity from midfield. Sommer again put under pressure, and Cool under pressure. Nuno Mendes. Fabian Ruiz. Languid swipe at the ball by Dembele.
Well, Inter have done a little bit better at the start of the second half, but having said all of that, most of the danger is happening at their defensive end. Dembele trying to bend that, get the whip on the ball.
What a season Ousmane Dembele has had. Left out of the squad for the match day 2 defeat at Arsenal at the start of October because of disciplinary reasons, but has had his best ever scoring season under Luis Enrique, who's found the best role for him after those years at Barcelona, injury-troubled years at Barcelona and Dortmund before that.
It's been a masterstroke, hasn't it, from Luis Enrique, moving Dembele from the wide areas more centrally. Helped to plug that 44-goal hole left by Kylian Mbappe's departure. Simply haven't missed him.
The double change is now imminent. Zalewski is ready to come on. Dumfries takes a tumble, anticipating the challenge from Kvaratskhelia. Change is going to be made. So Pavard is being replaced by Jan Bisek. So anticipated that had he not got a knee issue, that Bisek would have been in the starting 11 ahead of Benjamin Pavard. And Federico Di Marco gives way. Zalewski, the more forward-thinking Zalewski, is on in his place. Donnarumma is left in a heap. Cherby muscling in. He's gone behind for a corner kick.
Oh, it's a good delivery. That's what caused that collision between Donnarumma and possibly one of his own defenders. Is it Marquinhos? It is. It's a clattering from his captain.
Double change for Inter. And Inter looking to apply pressure with this corner kick. Dumfries is in there. Donnarumma has flapped at that. He's managed to get it away. Deflected away by Marquinhos. Drive from Barella is repelled. Zalewski just on, made his Champions League debut as a late substitute in the 2-1 quarter-final first leg win at Bayern at the start of April. Given away by Barella. Lautaro Martinez. Zalewski. That's going to be a free kick. He's hardly been on the pitch for more than 2 minutes. That is a yellow card.
Yeah, it's overly aggressive. Brilliant blocking by João Neves, and again Ruiz just gets there first and he gets caught by Zalewski. Really complain about a yellow card for that.
Zalewski signed from Roma at the end of the January window. Polish international. The pole on the bench in Zielinski. Away by Pisek.
Still making those demands of his players. They've got to keep going, can't afford to switch off. Allow Inter back in. Have top control here at the moment.
Marquinhos. Doué. Sommer showing that he's just as comfortable with his left foot as his right. PSG giving away a lot of free kicks. And the card, is it going to be produced?
Yeah, I think the fourth
of one of Simone Inzaghi's assistants.
Yeah, they're getting animated down on the bench. That's the problem, and here's the yellow card, look. It's Inzaghi himself.
We tried to leave the scene of the crime then.
He wanted a yellow card, and that's the reaction, look, and officials simply not going to take that reaction, nor should they.
We should know what he will get from Istvan Kovac, the Romanian in charge of this. Got the record for the European Championship for most cautions in the game when Czechia faced Turkey. First red coming after 20 minutes, 16 yellows, 2 reds in the end. It was an evening when it was necessary to have more than one pen. Bastoni with a long throw. Wasteful by Barella. Closed down quickly.
That's exactly what the problem was for him. Fabian Ruiz out really, really quickly. Referee's going to have a word with Gianluigi Donnarumma here. He's on to the time-wasted element of this, and he's just given the goalkeeper a little bit of a warning.
By Barella, helped on again by Martinez. Usual sure-footed defending from Marquinhos. Pisek. It was Germany debut at the start of this year against Italy.
Pisek is one of them. PSG. Doué down at the other end. Just got back up, actually. What's going on out there? As he pulled his hamstring.
It's a stumble, wasn't it, which has done the damage. Not risk from the start because of the knee problem, which picked up in the final game of the season. It may well be having replaced their right-sided central defender, having taken off Benjamin Pavard, they might well have to replace Jan Bisek.
He's definitely holding that hamstring.
Stefan de Vrij, the Dutch international, is on the bench. It's the obvious change, but it's another defensive change, and Inter need goals quickly. They need to forge a chance quickly. Dembele, Inter in retreat. Hakimi behind for a corner.
It's just brilliant football, isn't it? It's the energy, the dynamism of these players. There's a skill from Doué. Sends Hakimi on his way. It's a strike that needs blocking by Cherby.
Palace want to get on with the game. Inter want to make another double change. They can't make it just yet. Simone Inzaghi was furious with his backup team that they weren't able to get the two players ready to make these changes. Matteo Darmian is coming on and Augusto is coming on. First to make way is Mkhitaryan. Carlos Augusto is on. And here comes Matteo Darmian. Just one more change available now to Inter. Vitinha. Dembele. Vitinha on his way. Here's Doué looking for his second. Claiming his second. It's been a dream night for the 19-year-old. A dream night, a sensational year. Called up by France for the first time in March, and now lighting up Munich.
Dream night for everybody connected with Paris Saint-Germain, because they're gonna, for the first time in their history, win the UEFA Champions League, and it's ruthless, absolutely ruthless from PSG. I think me and several other people were a tiny bit surprised that Doué got the nod over Barcola, but how good a break is this? Instigated by Vitinho, finished by Doué. Very calm and composed, passes the ball, no chance for Sommer. And what a night for Paris Saint-Germain.
They can't quite believe it. I don't think Desiree Doué could quite believe it. Hadn't started a Champions League game before the start of October. What a season he has had in the Champions League. He was entitled to a riotous celebration, one which has earned him a yellow card as a consequence. He's now on a hat-trick, of course. Kvaratskhelia. Dumfries. the more that Inter push forward, the more gaps are likely to be opened up for PSG. Damian, the priest goes down. Half-hearted look towards the referee.
João Neves it was just cracking him back a little bit. What a night this young man is having.
He's going to be denied the opportunity to get that hat-trick because having scored his 2 goals, Desiree Doué makes way. And what a reception he is getting.
First one may have been a tiny bit fortunate with a deflection, but there was no doubt how clinical and brilliant the second one was.
Is on. Ball wouldn't fall for Thuram. Gathered by Donnarumma. Season will end tonight for so many of these players. FIFA World Club Cup later in June, the UEFA Nations League finals in Munich. Games being held in Stuttgart as well. Germany against Portugal here this week. Spain against France in the other semi-final. Simply no respite and no letter from PSG. Offside. Chris keeping Inter picked back in their own half.
Luis Enrique's gone on record as saying it's one of the proudest things that he feels for his team is the way they are without the ball, work ethic, particularly the forwards in closing down. Very, very different dynamic to when the superstars were around.
Survivor from that team, the team of Lionel Messi, Neymar and Kylian Mbappe. I think Fabian Ruiz evaded the challenge from Marcus Thuram. He's on the wrong side of Istvan Kovac, but that is going to be a yellow card.
There must be an enormous amount of frustration out there. He's late, you see, just catches Fabian Ruiz.
PSG this season, a team of goals and looking for more. Bacola just on as a substitute. Fabian Ruiz helped away, but not too far. And that was a thumping hit from Bacola, who's keen to get in on the act.
He is, and I think the biggest mistake is he tries to hit this as hard as he possibly can. That's why it rises. But all the chances coming at that end of the pitch.
Aslani coming on. Chalinolu is the latest to go off.
completely new midfield now, isn't it, for Inter? I think that is just an admission. The original midfield got completely overrun. Couldn't cope with the energy and the excellence of PSG.
Kovac has brought that back. And a yellow card has been issued to Acerbi. Neves. Kvaratskhelia, one of the most exciting players in Europe. Fantastic close control and fantastic pace. If you're happy to let that go. This is demoralising for Inter. They simply can't get anywhere near the ball. It's going to be a long 20 minutes. Dembele. Kvaratskhelia clean throw on goal and scoring beautifully. Magnificent. Again have no answer. Pulled apart, opened up. Luis Enrique celebrates. What a night it has been for PSG.
Well, you have to feel for Inter and everybody connected with them, because they're on the wrong end of a beating here by an incredible team that are delivering an almost perfect game of football in every conceivable way. Again, it's that dynamism, it's the pace in behind, and he delays that run to make sure that he stays on side. And can he stay calm at the moment? You bet your life he can. Again, a little bit like Doué, passes the ball into the corner. Jan Sommer, no chance. What a night, and what a way to win the UEFA Champions League final. I think he's enjoying it, and why wouldn't he?
There's been a transformation in the way PSG play with Luis Enrique in charge, and they will leave Munich with silverware. They will leave with the UEFA Champions League trophy. It's going to be difficult for Inter at 2-0. It's impossible at 4-0. No team has won a Champions League final by a 4-goal margin since Milan beat Barcelona back in 1994. And PSG are beyond the 150 mark for goals this season.
Two emotions, isn't it? That one, it's the pain. Painful way to lose the biggest final. It's only a few weeks ago, isn't it? Maybe 3 weeks ago, they were possibly on for a treble into Milan. They're going to go home with the season nothing.
Barella. Get away from the first challenge. He can't create the opening. It's a magnificent save by Donnarumma. Donnarumma's had nothing to do all evening, but he sprung low to his left then to keep out the shot and to frustrate Marcus Thuram. Nothing is going their way.
No, and it been a night where PSG haven't really needed the big goalkeeper. Couldn't say that about certain periods of the round of 16, the quarter and the semi-final. He was magnificent in all those games, but even though it's 4-0, he'll be keen to keep a clean sheet.
Goalkeeper eager to keep a clean sheet, and doubtless PSG keen to claim a 5th goal. It's been a 4-0 scoreline in 4 finals. The big one back in 1960, that Real Madrid game against Eintracht Frankfurt, which went to 7-3, and the tears very, very real. Inter and their supporters came here with great belief. It's ended in tears. Aslani with a corner kick. Wouldn't fall for Lautaro Martinez. Another corner. Inter have had to run further. They've suffered more. Gathered by Donnarumma.
You wonder what's in store for this Inter team. It likely will be disbanded. Many changes in the summer, and it's going to be a long, painful summer.
A painful pass from Nuno Mendes, who stubbed his foot in the turf then as he tried to deliver the crossfield pass. Now he's got some defending to do. Acerbi. Zalewski offside. That Nuno Mendes is going off. In comes Lucas Hernandez, who spent 4 years with Bayern in Munich. He was at Bayern when they defeated PSG in the final in 2020. Didn't get on the pitch on that occasion. His brother Theo was in Italy at Milan. Barcola. Kvaratskhelia getting back to hold off Dumfries. And look at the reaction.
He's sprinted 60, 70 yards to get back at Denzel Dumfries, and that's what I was talking about. Luis Enrique's pride that he takes in coaching this team to have that amount of commitment. He's currently clapping his right winger, his left winger. It's been an incredible effort, and they have demoralised Inter Milan.
Ousmane Dembele has spoken about the mindset change since Luis Enrique took over. It's a team with energy. Dembele having his best ever scoring season. Kvaratskhelia is almost in again. Barella sliding in to get the ball away. Martinez. Zalewski, worth a try. Straight at Donnarumma.
Donnarumma's reaction berates his defenders, giving the ball away.
Vitinha. Bakol. Gaps opening up again for PSG. It's Bakola. He's done that beautifully. And he's driven that into the side netting. Those on the far side of the stadium thought he was in. It should have been in.
Well, could have stole his teammate's thunder here, because this probably would have been the best goal of the night. Wonderful skill. Couldn't find the finish.
Marquinhos. Vitinha. Bakola. Another of PSG's new generation, their young generation. 22-year-old. Kvaratskhelia managed to keep the ball in play then. Some nimble footwork. Urged on again by Luis Enrique. It's a real statement for the rest of Europe.
It is. This has been an incredible performance. Said almost perfection.
The early rounds of qualifying for next season's UEFA Champions League beginning in less than a couple of weeks. Preliminary rounds that won't involve the likes of PSG and Inter. Serious business will start again in September. The cries of Olé. Only at the stage where we start to count up the passes.
I can tell you, having been on the receiving end of similar, it's painful.
Bakola. Chance to go for goal himself when perhaps Dembele was in the better position, but as a striker, he would only have the goal in his sights. And now Luis Enrique with the luxury of making a triple change. Kvaratskhelia is making way, having scored a beautiful goal to make it 4-0. Gonzalo Ramos is coming on. There's Fabian Ruiz. Zaire Emery is on, and Meulu is coming on with João Neves making way. In the Champions League without winning the trophy. PSG at one time must have despaired of doing it themselves. was slipping away from them into going with Thuram and Martinez, not changing either of the two central attacking strikers. This PSG team dropping even further with the introduction of Zaire Emery. Hakimi. Bakola. Done again by Bakola. That's 5, and it's been a 5-star show. Mayulu just off the bench. A sensational performance, and PSG will deservedly be UEFA Champions League winners of 2025. The 19-year-old, he's been on the pitch just 3 minutes, and he too has lit up Munich with his contribution.
Well, he's onside there, isn't he? Kohler, and he finds Mayulu. He's carried on his run. He smashes the ball beyond. They're helpless. Jan Sommer. I mean, what a performance. What a team. And you spoke about the rest of Europe being fearful. They should be, because this is a young team that has got quite a few years left in them. All PSG have to do is keep them together, and there's no reason why they can't. The pain and the ecstasy, what they've been waiting for.
Benfica, the last team to score 5 in a final, beating Real Madrid 5-3 back in 1962. Scored as a substitute in a 7-0 win over Brest in the knockout round playoff. He was just 18 years and 278 days then to become the club's youngest scorer in a Champions League knockout stage fixture. Younger even than Doué, who'd broken the record earlier in the fixture.
Thanks for that, pal.
But it only underlines what you said, Don, that it is such a young team. I haven't got a calculator out yet to work out what the average age on the pitch is, but look at that scoreline. Paris 5, Inter 0. And still 90 seconds and more to do yet more damage. The biggest winning margin in a European Cup final.
I think we have to say it could very easily have been more as well. That's the thing. The team have just, right from the first whistle, they have not been able to cope. You saw the tears of agony, seeing tears of joy here now.
Different emotions, different expressions. One half of this arena quiet, the other half, the PSG half, singing Campeones, they are champions. And they might not have finished yet. Bakola. Dembele, still hunting for a goal. Vitinha. We might just revisit that, and he is. Card is going to be produced here for Hakimi. Tactical foul.
Referee has no choice to give a yellow card for that.
And the Roar will tell you that Paris Saint-Germain are UEFA Champions League winners of 2025. Look at Marquinhos, who has been a beaten finalist with PSG in the past, back in 2020. But the French champions have got their hands on the trophy for the first time ever. Luis Enrique has done it before with Barcelona. Now he has a second win on his CV after completely changing the mindset at PSG. Time to give thanks and to reflect on what has been a sensational season and a sensational performance. You have to rub your eyes to believe that this has happened.
Congratulations to Paris Saint-Germain.
An extraordinary display. Inter narrowly beaten finalists 2 years ago by Manchester City, 1-0. They might well have equalised late on in that one. Simone Inzaghi telling his players to keep their chins up, to keep their heads held high, but they've been ripped apart by the French champions and the European champions. PSG 5-0 winners over Inter Milan. And it's Luis Enrique who is leading the celebrations. What have you made of it, Don Goodman?
Incredible. I don't think anybody could possibly have seen that performance, that scoreline coming. It was total domination. It was class. And talking about class, Luis Enrique, before celebrating, the first thing he did was he went up to Simone Inzaghi and he gave him a hug. Wasn't shown on the telly, but I can promise you that is pure class from Luis Enrique. But his young team have gone above and beyond. It's just been, I said almost perfect. Let's have it right. It was perfect. If there is such a thing as perfection, that was it. And poor Inter Milan were on the receiving end of it. It could have been anybody. They were that good, PSG.
The announcement had just been made that Desiree Doué, the 19-year-old who claimed 2 of the goals, is the player of the match. Turns 20 this coming week. What a contribution he made, but so many of the...
All right now, any bet, your best bet, any day, every day. Winnings you get, all kind of sports, virtual sports, games and horse racing, local, international. We are slot machine in our spot, play enough, win big with the best odds. Any bet down the spread across the island, any bet get in on the action.
Bet today on any sport or gaming at any bet locations island-wide. Any bet, your best bet.
Outperform, outlast, with top performance, Jackama, reliable, full stop, not comma. We have the expertise for drilling and demolition. We have the power tools for plumbers and electrician. Fancy select tools, 3 parts and 3 repairs. 3 parts, 3 repairs. 2 to 3 years. Hilton, available at Delta Supply, 106 Hagley Park Road. Call us at 876-302-6111-4. Delta Supply, we service what we sell.
This summer, stay cool and save big in the all-new Dun Cool Inverters. Starting at just $52,000, this cutting-edge air conditioner is built for comfort and efficiency. With the built-in Wi-Fi, you can control your climate from anywhere, anytime. Plus, it's energy-saving and ISO 9000 certified. Quality and performance you can trust. Available in all sizes. WhatsApp 876-850-7353 and shop now. Why settle for the win when you can own the cool? For everything home, consider it done.
Confidence starts early and grows with every experience. From overcoming life's challenges to enjoying new experiences, conquering your career goals, or finding your inner strength, have confidence in all you do. Confidence sanitary napkins are flexible, breathable, and super absorbent, keeping you fresh and confident throughout the day.
Confidence is you.
We've got this. Distributed by Carib Group, Kirk FP Division.
In Jamaica,
Your rights are protected by our Constitution. From the right to education to freedom of expression, every citizen deserves respect and dignity. But remember, with rights come responsibilities. Let's uplift and respect each other and stand against injustice. Together, we can make Jamaica a better place for ourselves and future generations. Know your rights. Embrace your responsibilities. This message was brought to you by the Ministry of Legal and Constitutional Affairs.
AnyBet is Jamaica's premier company for in-person or online betting in Jamaica, with more than 40 locations nationwide. Enjoy more games, more bets, and more winnings at anybet.com, with access to the widest range of products to place your bets, including football, cricket, dog racing, and a host of exciting instant games that offer some of the best odds available. Chances are there's an AnyBet location near you. Must be 18 years and older. AnyBet, your best bet.
Nationwide now presents the Back of the Net coverage brought to you by AnyBet, your best bet, and ATL Automotive, keeping Jamaica moving.
Yeah, it's over. It's over, folks. It's over. What a performance from Paris Saint-Germain today. They were utterly destructive, and they literally ripped apart an Inter Milan team who otherwise would have been really, really good because they were good value for beating Barcelona. But today, they ran into a Paris Saint-Germain team that took no prisoners, and the young, brilliant team of Luis Enrique's just went on to win the Champions League by the biggest margin in the history of the Champions League. It's the first Champions League title. They lost in 2020 to Bayern Munich when they had a litany of stars. Today what they did, they put together some of the youngest talents in Europe and in France, yeah, and ripped apart one of the heavy hitters of the European game. 5-0 in the end. Inter Milan destroyed by Paris Saint-Germain. Inter Milan looking for their fourth title. It was not to be. And PSG became the fifth team to win their first Champions League in the Bayern Munich Stadium. A really good place for them, and what a performance from them. Before we get into analyzing the second half and give a total summary of the Champions League final for 2025, let's join my colleague Tona Thomas, who sat in Cinema 2 with me right throughout the game. She was hysterical. Every Paris Saint-Germain goal was met with a celebration from Tona, and she's now with some of the fans and of course our sponsors as well. Tona?
Hey to you, Wayne. Thank you so much. I was indeed having a very good time. Very, very happy that PSG won, making history this afternoon. And I'm here with some fans. I'm going to find out from them what team they were supporting. Of course, this is the nationwide Vox Pop sponsored by AnyBet as well as ATL Automotive. Hello to you. What's your name?
My name is Johan.
Johan, hi to you. And who are you?
Philip, supporting PSG.
Philip said he was supporting PSG. How about you?
Yeah, I was supporting Inter Milan.
I'm so sorry. Talk to us about the game.
All right, so from the Inter Milan perspective, it was a poor game. At least I got a free Heineken. Thanks to Just Bet, and I got a gift as well. But
AnyBet.
Yes, AnyBet. So as in regards to the tactics that Inter Milan came with, was very poor. Awful match, worst match. I never know that it could get worse than the Tottenham match, but it was very bad. Yeah. Yes.
I was hoping for a consolation. We didn't see that. Were you?
I don't know, because even when I was in there, the match went out. And when I came back, it was 5. I was like,
it's all over.
It's long, you know?
Yeah. How about you? You must be very happy this afternoon.
Definitely. It's obvious PSG was a better team.
I think where Inter Milan went definitely wrong is playing defensive. I think you can't come and play defensive against PSG without scoring the first goal. So that's where they went wrong, playing defensive against an attacking team, and it was goals after goals.
Did you go in, you're speaking of goals, did you go in with a set number of goals that you were expecting?
Well, I definitely didn't expect so much. Probably like a 2-0, but yeah, it was crazy.
Finally, who was your favorite player on the PSG side?
Doe.
Definitely Dewey. Definitely Dewey. He was my favorite player as well. He did a good job this afternoon. All right, thank you so much, guys. Is it that we want to throw in back some more guys? No, we're throwing back to Wayne to get some commentary now, some final words on the match.
Thank you very much, Tona. I've got Calvert Fitzgerald and Andrew Price right here with me still. Gentlemen, normally you hear, well, at the end of a Champions League final, most times that the better team on the day would have won. I just think the better team over the whole Champions League won the title today, and it was really a statement performance, Calvert.
Yes, it was an excellent game, but because what I thought PSG did, they have good technical ability, they are well coached, and they are extremely quick, they are young, and they are hungry. And it was just too much for the Inter team to manage.
Yeah. Andrew?
It's not how you start a competition, it's how you finish it. And if you look at the first round, they finished 16th, so they were the last team to qualify for the knockout stage. But since getting into the knockout stage, they have been peerless. They have played excellent football, and I can't imagine where this young team will be 2 years from now. All of the players, most of the players are under 22. So can you imagine what time of juggernaut that Luis Enrique will have 2 to 3 years from now with these same players?
Yeah. You know, normally when teams like these come to the fore and produce these young players who are doing so well in Europe, you worry about other teams coming and snatching them. PSG has the wherewithal to keep these players together.
Oh, yes.
So nobody's going to come and take them away from them.
That's right. They are ones who started the Galactico after Real Madrid, where they tried to get all the big players. Messi was there, Neymar was there, Mbappe was there. Now they have some youngsters, and they know how to keep those youngsters, and they want to keep them for a long time.
Yeah. You know, Coach, before the game, I mentioned about the mental damage that Barcelona would have done to Inter Milan. Inter Milan was the best defensive team in the Champions League, hands down. Suddenly, this team from Spain ripped you apart to a part where they scored 9 goals against you. That must do something to you. Yes, you won the semi-final and you're in the final, but mentally, when you look across the other side of the field, you're looking at Dembele, you're looking at Dewey, you're looking at Kvaratskhelia, yeah? You're looking at those class players who can rip you apart in a second, which is what they did today. And I can't help but to think that Barcelona stain on Inter Milan, they start to now second guess their own defensive ability, because suddenly you were the best defensive team and one match showed up everything, and the next team you face resembled the same attack that Barcelona came together with, and they ripped you apart as well.
Well, what I am thinking is the performance that I see from PSG today, whether they were confident or they lacked confidence, it would be the same. It was just a devastating performance. They couldn't get into the game. PSG pressed high, won the ball high up the pitch, so they weren't allowed to play. They were first to every first ball, they were first to every second ball. They just did not allow the Inter team to play at all. It was attack against defense with the occasional foray from Inter Milan. So they were just not allowed to play at all today. So no matter how confident they were, I just don't see any team staying with this PSG team, the form that they are in now. Any team you put in front of them today, I think it would be the same result.
Andrew, they're big players. Marcos, Lautaro, Bertoni, they didn't come to the party. Is it that they didn't, or they were not allowed to come to the party?
They weren't allowed to. I mean, if you look at the possession of this game, PSG had most of the possession. They kept the ball for as long as possible. When they lost it, they got it back as quick as possible. So it really infuriated the Inter Milan team because they couldn't get any touches off the ball. And the longer they kept the ball and they had game management, it's the more they frustrated the Inter Milan team. And this was just total domination.
Would you spare a thought for Kylian Mbappe?
No, if he was in this and he would have to adapt to how the coach wants him to play, so it would be even more devastating.
Yes.
This team, you know, if you look at this team, you see how them play, the discipline, the coach, the players does what the coach wants them to do.
Yes.
There are no superstars and no prima donna.
Yeah.
Everybody work their socks off. The forward there in the 18, challenging when they don't have the ball, you know. They are tracking, they are marking, they are blocking the passing lane. You know, they have just do everything defensively, 100%, offensively, 100%. So they are believing the coach's philosophy and they did exactly what the coach wanted them to do. So any player in this team that would not do what the coach wants would not be in the team.
Yeah, Andrew, I'm going to ask you the same question. How must he be feeling now? He's been there as their linchpin for years, and then suddenly as he leaves, they won the Champions League.
Well, in life you have to choose well. And I guess he didn't choose well. He made a move at the wrong time. He probably didn't envision that Luis Enrique had this vision with the players that he had now, and he wasn't patient, he wasn't impatient, and decided to leave. But now it has come to fruition that Luis Enrique was building a team.
Yes.
And this team won the Champions League today by 5-0.
Yeah, and then Bailey said it, you know, he said it, the turnaround came when Luis took over, and he said the sort of discipline that he has instilled in the PSG team, it was almost impossible for them to fail. He says when he stepped into the dressing room on that first day and he set out his stall and tell them what he wanted, they all bought into it, which was important, that players buy into because without buying into the coach, what the coach is saying, you can't get anywhere. And Pierre made the point that he coached in Italy, so he also understand the Italian system of playing.
So the players believe in him, you know, they listen to him, they believe in his philosophy, and they go there and act out his philosophy.
Yes.
What we saw today, Wayne, was great transitional play from defense to attack. Numbers coming forward. There was always a pass available for a PSG player.
Yeah. I don't understand though how he played this system. He has an attack that includes the two wing backs, Nunez and Ashraf, the captain, to go along with Desire Doué and Ousmane Dembele. That's his attack, you know. But he plays it in such a way, you sometimes wonder if Ashraf is a defender, and you sometimes wonder if Nunez is a defender. They're so forward up all the time.
It's all about overloads. Depending on what side they attack, they overload that side with numbers. And that's what they do to break down defensive units.
Yes. I don't know. Somebody in the theater was asking me if they were playing Barcelona today, if they would have looked this good. I probably think so too, you know, because Barcelona gives up goals. Paris doesn't give up goals and they get goals. Barcelona probably would have suffered the same thing today. Yeah, probably.
Yes, because that's what I said earlier, you know, that this is a more disciplined defensive team. The PSG team, they are much more defensively disciplined than the Barcelona play, and they don't play such a high line. So it's kind of difficult to get behind them. When the opponent have the ball, they press high and win, but if they are being attacked, they'll drop back and make sure that they protect in front of the goal and then push up again when they have the ball. So this running, because as I said earlier, they run nearly 20 kilometers per 90 minutes, more than the Inter team.
Yeah.
So it was brought into play today. That amount of
how was the experience of watching the football in a cinema? It's the first time for you?
No, not the first time.
What about you?
Enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was really nice, and the turnout was good as well. It was. It was just pity that there wasn't a more popular team, because in the cinema that I was, because Paris Saint-Germain kept scoring, you didn't really get an atmosphere because the Inter Milan fans were there and crestfallen every time a goal went in. Folks, we hope you enjoyed the coverage that we brought to you today on Nationwide, and for those of you who turned up here at the cinema, it was a fantastic day. It was a cinematic Saturday. PSG won, I'm happy. I just thought they were the best team in Europe this year, and I had no doubt coming in today. Didn't expect 5, and I expected them to win today. All right, you don't have to be a Jermaine to work at Nationwide. It just happened that we have Jermaine Compass and Jermaine King on the broadcast team today. There's Tawna Thomas, our producer Adric Swaby, and I saw Michael Paul somewhere around the place here. There's also Diana Buchanan as well. I saw Tracy was here as well, Tona. Right. So the entire crew was out here today, and we're so grateful for them because they made the coverage what it was today. We hope those of you in Radio Land and those of you who are watching us on the YouTube channel had a good Saturday as well. Before we go, though, I must give credit to our sponsors. They made it happen. And we're talking about Anybet. Anybet, your best bet. And I hope those of you who came out today would have won something from Anybet, yeah? And there's also Automotive, ATL Automotive, keeping Jamaica moving. And Dunn's Electrical, your building and finishes partner. I won't say much, but I think we're going to have something similar to this as we move deeper into the year, because we've got a lot of global events that we want to be a part of as we go forward. And just keep listening to Nationwide. You just never know what you might hear. All right, so on behalf of the entire team here at Carib 5 in Crossroads, goodbye for now, and have a good rest of the weekend.
Nationwide, the back of the net coverage brought to you by Anybet, your best bet, and ATL Automotive, keeping Jamaica moving.
All right now, Anybet, your best bet, any day, every day. Winnings you get, all kind of sports, virtual sports, games and horse racing, local, international. We have slot machine in our spot, play enough, win big with the best odds now. Anybet lounge spread across the island, Anybet get in on the action.
Bet today on any sport or gaming at Anybet locations island-wide. Anybet, your best bet.
At Kia, driving your future means joining the movement that inspires. Whether it's the small but mighty Picanto hatchback or the top-of-the-line tech-rich Sorrento SUV, there's a Kia that perfectly fits your lifestyle and your budget. ATL Automotive has gotten Jamaicans behind the wheels of thousands of Kias for the past 7 years. And we're ready to get you behind the wheel of a Kia too. Simply visit the nearest Kia showroom for a test drive